Since the phytopharmaceutical aspect is one of the emerging area, there is a need to understand the regarding the scenario of Ayurveda drug as well as phytopharmaceutical product. Phytopharmaceutical drug includes processed or unprocessed standardized materials derived from plants or parts thereof or combination of parts of plants, extracts or fractions thereof in a dosage form for internal or external use of human beings.
సార్ సారీ టు ఇంటరప్ట్ యూ.
ఓకే,
సార్ మీ పవర్ పాయింట్ షేర్ చేయలేదు సార్.
చేశాను అంటే స్క్రీన్ మీద వచ్చింది అనమాట.
ఇట్స్ నాట్ విజిబుల్ యాక్చువల్లీ, సో ఐ విల్ సీ ఇట్.
ఓకే, 1 minute ప్లీజ్, 1 minute. వినయ్, వినయ్ ఈ పవర్ పాయింట్ షేర్ చేయాలి.
You can keep as a slideshow, sir. Maximum, yes. Okay, sir.
Visible?
Yes, yes, sir. It is visible. You can continue, sir.
Yeah, sorry
Thank
for
you.
interruption.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Sorry for interruption. Now, with the PowerPoint presentation, I would like to inform some of the information pertaining to the Ayurveda drugs as well as phytopharmaceutical products. The definition of phytopharmaceutical drug includes processed or unprocessed standardized materials derived from plants or plant parts thereof or combination of parts of plants, extracts or fractions thereof in a dosage form for internal or external use of human beings or animals and intended to be used for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of any disease or disorder in human beings or animals, but does not include administration by parenteral route. Here, one point we have to notice that these phytopharmaceutical products are meant for only the internal administration. They are not meant for the parenteral administration, like injections, they cannot be given. Similarly, the definition of Ayurveda drug, as per the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, if we see, all medicines intended for internal or external use for or in the diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of disease or disorder in human beings or animals, and manufactured exclusively in accordance with the formulae described in the authoritative books of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani systems of medicine specified in the first schedule. So we are clarified that the definition of phytopharmaceutical product as well as Ayurveda drug. Both the drugs are meant for the human administration only, and also it is meant for the animal administration also. Recently, in Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, we have developed one veterinary formulary. It is going to be published in coming future days. This volume includes most of the dosage forms used for the treatment of elephants as well as horses and other animals The formulae are taken basically from the Kerala classical book. And this information I am giving because most of the Ayurveda medicines were in the practice of human usage as well as animal usage also. But the human usage of Ayurveda medicines are becoming more and more nowadays, and animal usage also are up to some extent. But in future, expect that animal usage of Ayurveda medicines also will increase in the practical aspect. So there is a need to develop the pharmaceutical, phytopharmaceutical product or Ayurveda drug, both for human beings and also animals. Apart from this information, I would like to inform that since the topic is pertaining to the phytopharmaceutical product, uh, in Ayurveda, the medicines are prepared with three category of natural products. Number one is plant material, up to 80 to 85%. Second category is that animal products, and also third category contains minerals and metals in the form of basma and other components. The major portion of Ayurveda medicines constitute plant materials, and plant materials were used since ancient days for making the medicines and used very extensively to treat the different disease conditions in the human as well as animals. And also, these products are prepared from the different plant parts. The materia medica of Ayurveda is so rich and has given the lot of description about the plant material collection. When these plant materials has to be collected, where the plant materials has to be procured, and how these plant materials has to be preserved, and what will be the stability period of plant materials once it is collected or harvested from the source plant, and how much period it can be kept for the usage of the formulation. That is also has been mentioned in Ayurveda classical books. Now I'm describing all the information about the Ayurveda medicinal plant parts collection. Reason is that the phytopharmaceutical product which is going to be developed in modern system of medicine also requires the knowledge when particular plant part has to be collected. Once once the plant part in specified period has been collected, then it produces optimum op- it produces optimum active ingredients, and these active ingredients will produce the maximum therapeutic efficacy. Therefore, the ideology of plant material collection in particular season, particular time of the day, and particular place is also, this technology also is very essential for the development of phytopharmaceutical product. For example, I will tell you, in Ayurveda it has been mentioned that the root should be collected in summer season. The reason is that in summer season, all the tissues of the root will be working efficiently in order to collect the water content from the surroundings of the earth. Therefore, the tissues of the root, when they are in active stage, in that period, if the root of the plant is collected, then it produces optimum level of active principles, and ultimately therapeutic value of that plant part will be enhanced. Similarly, phytopharmaceutical drug, when we are developing, for example, ashwagandha, vitamina, somnifera, root extract, when we are procuring, if that root is collected in the summer season, that way that extract also will be produced optimum quantity, as well as it gives the more therapeutic value. Similarly, many of the information I would like to inform you regarding the Ayurveda dosage forms. See, the similar to phytopharmaceutical products, Ayurveda science also explains different separation extracts of Ayurveda dosage forms. I will tell you one information. Ayurveda pharmaceutics totally divided into two sections. One is Vaishajya Kalpana, that is uh, science dealing with all the different dosage forms, and also most of the dosage forms which are prepared on the basis of plant materials. The second part is that Rasa Shastra. This part is dealing with the pharmaceutical processing of various basmas, metal mineral products. Here also plant parts are used in different means. However, the plant extracts are used for preparing these basmas. Both the sections of Ayurvedic pharmaceutics, that is Vaishajya Kalpana as well as Rasasastra, incorporates numerous knowledge pertaining to the separation, extraction, and also preparation of different dosage forms, which is the basis for the phytopharmaceutical product development. Now, I am informing you some of the selective dosage forms. That is Guduchi Sattva. You can see Guduchi Sattva is the water soluble extract collected from the Tinospora cardifolia medicinal plant. It is a creeper. The stem portion will be collected and it is crushed in water, and all the starch material is extracted. Similarly, phytopharmaceutical product, a water soluble extract has been selectively separated from this guduchi, that is Tinospora cardifolia, and this product has been used since long period in Ayurveda and proved as a therapeutic value, is more efficient in the treatment of fever and other diseases. Similarly, there is another important dosage form, that is Asava and Arishtakalpana, where hydroalcoholic preparations are prepared in this particular dosage form. Here also many of the phytochemical substances are incorporated from different plants which are soluble in alcohol, also soluble in water, will be combined together. This is a hydroalcoholic liquid dosage form. Here, these phytopharmaceutical extracts will be in a soluble form, will be produced in this asava and arista. As per Ayurveda science, because of presence of alcohol, it will not expire. its stability period will be prolonged. For a longer period, these formulations can be used without any spoilage. So this is also one of the idea in Ayurveda how the phytopharmaceutical product has been developed. Similarly, there is a charakalpana, that is alkaline preparation made from different plant materials which are alkaline nature, and after burning them this alkaline has to be prepared. Similarly, masi kalpana, where the carbon like material will be produced, and bhasma, rasaushadi, and rasakriya. Rasakriya also one of the method where extract will be produced. For example, dar haridra and haridra. Dar Haridra is Berberis aristata root. Haridra also turmeric rhizome. And these two materials are made soluble in water, and water soluble extract is taken out, prepared in the form of rasakriya. This is how Ayurveda itself made a basis for the phytopharmaceutical product. Many of the dosage forms are already in the practice of Ayurveda, and I would like to inform you that these dosage forms were efficiently used in Indian subcontinent before the entering of allopathy system and other systems. This Ayurveda one was the only system by which the total health care has been taken into the consideration. The all the people of Indian subcontinent were treated with these dosage forms only. The meaning of this explanation is that they are very safe. These dosage forms are very safe, and like this, many number of dosage forms has been explained in Ayurveda. That is more than 80 dosage forms has been mentioned. Here, time will not permit to explain all those dosage forms. Therefore, briefly, I am mentioning about these important dosage forms of Ayurveda where phytopharmaceutical product can be correlated. Now, let us see what is phytopharmaceutical product. We know that phyto is a plant part, pharma is a drugs related information, Pharmaceuticals is a technology or the science. Phytopharmaceutical drug includes purified and standardized fraction with defined minimum for bioactive or phytochemical compound, qualitatively assessed uh, of a plant extract of a medicinal plant or its part for internal or external use of human beings or animals for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of any disease or disorder, but does not include administration by parental route. It is only meant for the internal administration as well as external application in both human beings and animals, but it does not include for the parental administration. Now, some information about Ayurveda. Presently, there is a requirement of technology incorporation for by keeping the fundamentals of Ayurveda as such, and by using the most modern technology similar to phytopharmaceutical product, the Ayurveda products also can be developed. Since the global importance of Ayurveda products are increasing, the market of Ayurveda products is the proof for the global importance of Ayurveda. And this increasing demand of Ayurveda products itself says that there is a requirement to make the Ayurveda products safe, most modern, as well as consumable form. One important thing is that when we export these medicines, the Ayurveda products as well as phytopharmaceutical product has to face certain quality control standards, particularly the pesticide residue, heavy metal assay, and also bactericidal infection and bacterial load, as well as other qualitative parameters. These parameters, once if we are meeting with Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, then they are proved as a safe. Another issue is that the heavy metal percentage, safety percentage of heavy metals is a little bit varying country to country. Every country is making its own heavy metal safety levels. So there is a need to develop a common platform like WHO where the heavy metals safety levels will be one and same, and by following that safety levels of heavy metals and pesticide residue, these plant products of Ayurveda as well as phytochemical products also can be exported from India, as well as they will be utilized for different health needs in those countries. Another thing is that regarding the pesticide residue, though there is a ban of some of the pesticides in India, but however, some of the pesticides are available in neighboring countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, etc., Pakistan also. From these countries, most of the raw materials are imported to India. For example, I will tell you the gugulu is imported sometimes from the Pakistan, and from Nepal. From many of the plant materials are imported, and these plant materials, when they have taken from other countries, if the pesticide is banned in our country, and those countries are allowing another type of pesticide, that will come along with plant material. So when we prepare a medicine in the form of phytopharmaceutical product or Ayurveda product, we have to see that pesticide residue free, or the pesticide residue should be in optimum level. It should not be present more than the permissible limit. So, like that, other parameters of bacterial load and other quality parameters has to be taken into consideration when we are going for the uh, larger production of phytopharmaceutical products as well as Ayurveda products. And the phytopharmaceutical products are recently developing, and as defined in the Rule 122E of Drugs and Cosmetics Rules, a drug which has not been used in the country to any significant extent under the conditions prescribed, recommended, are suggested in the labeling thereof, and has not been recognized as effective and safe by the licensing authority mentioned under Rule 21 of Drugs and Cosmetics Rules for the proposed claim is considered as a new drug. Once it is considered as a new drug, then the all the parameters like animal study, clinical study and quality control parameters has to be fulfilled by this phytopharmaceutical product, and the industry which is manufacturing this phytopharmaceutical product, they have to take care about this. And another thing is that there are similar concept in Ayurveda, the churna swarasa kalka kwata hima fanta. See, in Sanskrit, Ayurveda says that adhataha swarasa kalka kwata hima fanta kascheti. These are called Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana, five types of extracting methods, and these five Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana are made basis for the all other dosage forms of Ayurveda. And number one is that Swarasa, the fresh leafy or plant material extract in the juice in the form of juice is called Swarasa. And Kalka is a paste made out of fresh plant material. Kwata is also called as Kashaya, and it is a water soluble extract obtained by heating process. There is a wide description about making this decoction by adding the specific amount of water, heating up to specific period of time, and based on the consistency of the plant material, the amount of water which is to be used for heating will be varying. Similarly, Hima, that is a hot infusion, the materials which are not tolerable for higher degree temperature, they are to be extracted from Himakalpana, and another one is Fontakalpana. There are certain volatile properties in some of the plant materials like gulab pushp, gulab flower, and ajwain, etc. materials where cold infusion, that is Fanta, is used. By using cold infusion method, we extract the plant extracts. Most of the phytopharmaceutical extracts will be coming into water soluble form. Aqueous extract will be prepared. These five varieties of Panchavida Kashaya Kalpana is nothing but a separation of active components based on the nature of the plant materials, particular variety of the method, pharmaceutical processing method is used in which all the phytopharmaceutical active components will be separated. So in Ayurveda, these methods already has been in the practice, and we were using also, and the other medicines like ghana, that is also water soluble extract, and snake kalpana, that is a medicated ghee, and medicated oil preparations where all active components will be combined with cow's ghee or till oil like fatty materials depending upon the requirement of the usage, where internal administration or inhalation through the nose or for the purpose of enema, the particular method of separation of active components and incorporation of active components into oil or ghee will be made in the process of Sneha Kalpana. It is a very big chapter in Vaishajya Kalpana, Ayurveda Pharmaceutics, and Asava and Arista hydroalcoholic process, which I already mentioned in previous slide. And another thing is that plant-based processing like Sodhan and Maran. This is a metallo-mineral products, but in this product preparation also herbal drug juice decoctions were used, So there is a active component separation for making these decoctions and liquids which are used in the processing of herbo-mineral products. And finally, these products are very efficiently used for the therapeutic purpose in Ayurveda for treating different diseases. The treatment of Ayurveda is based on three genomics, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. All the diseases based on three genomics, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Separate pharmacology of Ayurveda has been established since ancient days. We have in our pharmacology, that is rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, and prabhava. Rasa means taste. There are six types of taste were mentioned: madura, amla, lavana, katu, tikta, kashaya. Similarly, all other guna, that is properties, karma, that is a drug action, all these pharmacological properties were explained very widely in our Ayurveda. So there is a need to enrich this Ayurveda system in the perspection of the phytopharmaceutical study with the incorporation or addition of most modern technology, so that both the systems will run parallelly, and there is nothing that phytopharmaceuticals, once they develop, the Ayurveda will be suppressed. It is not like that. Actually, Ayurveda is the basis for the phytopharmaceuticals. So both are the things. Ultimate idea is that treating the human disease condition only. The technology is maybe different in the phytopharmaceuticals, but in Ayurveda also the technology may be different. The ultimate idea is that treating the diseased condition. Now, phytopharmaceutical as a drug, you see the phytopharmaceutical from global diversity, you can see today introduction of phytopharmaceutical category of drugs will open a new vista of drug discovery. Of course, it will open a new discovery, but behind to this phytopharmaceutical study, there is Ayurveda. A big system is lying, and we have to take help from Ayurveda also for treating different diseases through the plant materials. Since Ayurveda materia medica is enriched with a lot of information. Market of herbal drugs is exploring worldwide now. Traditional treasure of plant knowledge attract scholars of other branch. Of course, many of the scientists are turning to Ayurveda, and they are trying to do research on the phytopharmaceutical products as well as Ayurveda products. You see, demand versus supply of raw material plant. When the demand increases, the supply of raw material also should be should meet its requirement. I will tell you one of the example. Rajasthan is the state where the gugulu, Comifera mucul plant gum resin is supplied to all over India to Ayurveda industry once upon. But the adjacent to Rajasthan in Pakistan also there is a desert area where lot of gugulu cultivation is now going on, and they are meeting our industry demand, and this demand will be fulfilled with the other country supply also. So that is why when we develop the phytopharmaceutical drug or Ayurveda drug, we have to keep in mind that there should be a raw drug availability for the large scale preparation. The purpose of standardization is that reproducibility. Lot of work is going on the standardization of the Ayurveda drugs. So this standardization will help in the reproducibility of Ayurveda drugs and also phytopharmaceutical products, because once the pharmaceutical process as well as quality of the finished product is developed, so in a large scale, with following the same standard parameter, the large scale production will be made by the Ayurveda drug industry and other industries. Therefore, the increasing demand of the Ayurveda medicine and also phytopharmaceutical drug can be compensated, because every time I am correlating Ayurveda and phytopharmaceutical drug is that the reason is that most of the phytopharmaceuticals are produced out of Ayurveda drugs only. From the Vitania somnifera, recently extract has been produced. I have seen in many of the seminars the scientists who are developing these extracts. And there is a caution for the phytopharmaceutical drug. Of course, by developing the phytopharmaceutical product, we can minimize the dose and also we can produce optimum therapeutic efficacy. But with optimum therapeutic efficacy, with a separated extract of this phytopharmaceutical component, we have to see that safety precaution also. We have seen the sarpaganda, that is Ravolfia serpentina extract, when it is developed, the reserpine has provided some of the adverse effects also. Similarly, the adverse effects or the adverse reactions may be produced by the phytopharmaceutical product. Therefore, we have to keep in mind that there should not be any adverse effect or the reaction by this phytopharmaceutical isolated component. Ayurveda believes that a crude drug therapy, drug as a wholesome, of course, I have mentioned that the separation of the some of the extracts like Guduchi Sattva, Asavarishta preparation, but there the components are multiple number. They are not specific active component one or two or up to four like that. There may be multiple components, and these components are proven as safe. And sometimes the drug as a whole, in the form of powder, tablet, and other dosage form in Ayurveda, when we administer, when a drug in total form is given, that proved safe because the reason is that a drug contains multi ingredients. One therapeutic ingredient will be component will be present, and there will be another active component which will reduce the adverse effect of that therapeutic component. Therefore, the whole drug most of the times proven as a safe. Therefore, crude materials and drugs as a total are used in Ayurveda pharmaceutics to manufacture different Ayurveda dosage forms. However, separation of active components are also is in practice of Ayurveda, as I mentioned, like asavarishta, hydroalcoholic, formulations as well as guduchi sattva, that is water soluble extract, etc. All those points we have to keep in mind while developing the phytopharmaceutical product or the Ayurveda product for the interest of the global requirement. Now you see the idea behind coming into existence of this phytopharmaceutical study. The other side, I have given the Gazette of India, and here I am mentioning about the information. Yeah, in 1998, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, that is IPC, concluded with a talk to develop botanical drug from lead inspired by Ayurvedic wisdom. The Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission also says that it is a lead which is inspired from the Ayurveda system, particularly the Bhaishyaja Kalpana part of Ayurvedic pharmaceutics. And when I was present in Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, in the committee of the phytopharmaceutical related issues, there also they have mentioned about the Ayurveda system. So there is a need to take the ideas of Ayurveda and develop this product in with the most modern technology. Therefore, the safe, usable, and efficient Ayurveda medicine or phytopharmaceutical product can be developed for the purpose of global requirement. Now it is a need to develop such formulation for COVID-19 also. The on the coronavirus, the different Ayurveda dosage forms, which are very efficient, should be studied first of all. Therefore, they will be established for the treatment of COVID-19 also. In 2004, US FDA document entitled Guidance to Industry for Botanical Drugs to increase herbal based entities as a authoritative drug in market. Uh, United States Pharmacopoeia Commission and Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission of India uh, related to Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, which is related to Ayurveda, has got the Memorandum of Agreement (MOU), and I participated many of the important seminars in between Ayurveda as well as USP, United States Pharmacopoeia. United States Pharmacopoeia also giving utmost importance for the Ayurveda drugs, and they are looking into the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia. That shows that the Ayurveda plant materials are getting importance globally day by day. Another important thing is that in August 2008, Government of India constituted a committee that contains the chairperson, Dr. Nityanandaji, and Dr. DBA Narayana, and Professor S.S. Handa, Professor Ramaharsh Singhji, Dr. C.K. Katiyar, Dr. Amit Agarwal, and Dr. G.N. Singh. Dr. G.N. Singh was the director for Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and he is the pioneer for the phytopharmaceutical extract development by the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. He is trying to develop a separate chapter in Indian Pharmacopoeia, and he was retired recently, and his followers are continuing the same job. Now you see the Gazette notification GSR 702E related with phytopharmaceuticals by CDSCO. The CDSCO will give the legal and other information about the phytopharmaceutical product. Development of phytopharmaceuticals, phytomedicine, you see, first of all, we take plant material and we have to culture that plant material and we have to harvest the plant part and during that time the botanical identification also will be done and ethno guiding approach, phytomedicine, formulation, development, and clinical study, preclinical study, toxicological studies will be conducted. And crude drug extract, when it is standardized, the standardized extract will be produced. And fractioning the active component from that extract will be done, and these fractions are used for the clinical study, preclinical study, and toxicological study, experimental study. After that only it will be released into the market for the sale, and this approval has to be taken from the CDSCO, whereas for Ayurveda medicine, approval has to be taken from the Ayurvedic licensing authority. This is the difference between phytopharmaceutical product, where the CDSCO will be the authority for the phytopharmaceutical product. For Ayurveda drug, the licensing authority of the Ayush department will be the authority. Ayurvedic and pharmaceutical processing of a botanical. A comparison you see here. In Ayurveda, traditionally processed formulations. We take by boiling and making them into concentration form. And as I told previously, for preparing the decoction, prescribed quantity of water is used. That is one part of drug. 4 times, 8 times, 16 times we use this times of water, because if drug is more hard, the consistency of the material is very hard. For example, the root of the plant is considered more hard. In that condition, Ayurveda classics prescribes 16 times of water. By using 16 times of water, we have to boil the materials for a long period in order to reduce them total water content up to one-fourth quantity. Whatever the proportion of water we take, we will boil and reduce the water content up to one-fourth quantity. And based on the hardness or the consistency of this material, the water proportion will be used. Uh, by using this much water, the total extract, phytochemical substance will be extracted into aqueous form, water soluble form. Wherever the material cannot tolerable with higher temperature, there I already mentioned that Hima and Font Kalpana, hot infusion and cold water infusion will be done. Similarly, there is another pharmaceutical product, that is Arka Kalpana in Ayurveda. Wherever volatile extract has to be taken out, there Arka Kalpana is used. That is for the Gulab Ark, Ajwain Ark, etc. Ark, Gomutra Ark, etc. we are using. These volatile media along with water will be taken out. So, this aqueous liquid containing volatile media is called Arka Kalpana. So this is also another type of separation. So this type of traditional methods we use for Ayurveda product preparation, whereas in modern preparation, you know already that different type of these pharmaceutical processes will be used, uh, and separation of the active component will be done. Most of the times by succinate extraction also we are doing, and many of the other conventional methods we use for the extraction. Ayurvedic medicine versus phytopharmaceutical product. If you see little information pertaining to the therapeutic value of those products, uh, treatment is nothing but restoration of deranged body elements. That is dosha. Dosha in Ayurveda is that dushayanti iti dosha. In Sanskrit, it is mentioned that the element which is going to be get dusha, that is going to get vitiated, that is called dosha. These are the three genomics: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. When they are in balanced form, the person will be in healthy condition. When they go into imbalanced condition, then the vitiation of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha takes place. Based on the pharmacological properties, which already I told, rasa, that is a different type of six varieties of taste. Virya, that is a potency. It may be hot potency or it may be cold potency of the plant material. Vipaka, that is a metabolic product which is produced after the digestion, after the ingestion into the body system, with the metabolism, the whatever the product is produced, based on that the vipaka of ayurveda drugs has been mentioned. So based on rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, and prabhava, this fundamental pharmacological basis, the three genomics, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, will be treated by using most of the times the plant materials in Ayurveda. Whereas in a modern system, you see the primary metabolite, that is a carbohydrate, lipid, chlorophyll, secondary metabolites, alkaloids, glycosides, terpenes, described on the basis of synergism of pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. And these drugs are standardized, therefore, their reproducibility will be maintained, and bioavailability of these drugs will be studied in modern pharmaceutics. So, like that, both in Ayurveda system, the therapeutic background is present, and in modern system also it is present. When we link together, then Ayurveda product can be brought to the global level, and very efficiently these two systems can work together parallelly for the purpose of treating different disease conditions. Why look into the traditional Ayurveda science? Why? What is the reason when we talk about the phytopharmaceutical product? But why we should look into the Ayurveda traditional knowledge? The reason is that the Ayurveda traditional knowledge is very rich, particularly the materia medica of Ayurveda is very much well explained. I will tell you the plant materials the season in which the plant part is collected, the direction in which the plant part is collected. For example, the root which is spreading towards yeast, if it is collected, the therapeutic value will vary. Similarly, the time, morning, afternoon, and night, when the plant material is collected, the active components will vary. For example, I will tell you one of the best example, that is turmeric. Turmeric is called in Sanskrit Haridra as well as Nisha. Haridra, we know a very common name, that is based on the color of the substance, the rhizome of the curcuma longa. But however, the second name, that is Nisha, denotes that Nisha is night. Night is the term Nisha indicates. The reason is that the Haridra turmeric is called as a night or the Nisha in Ayurveda. Reason is that turmeric rhizome will grow in the night very rapidly. This growth of turmeric rhizome will be identified by the Ayurvedic physicians. What they will do, they will take one coin of the currency, like 1 rupee coin, 50 paisa coin. They will keep on the elevated end of turmeric rhizome in evening, and next day morning they will see that how much this coin is elevated further. The coin definitely will get lifted up to maximum extent within one night. That shows the maximum growth of turmeric takes place in the night. Therefore, Ayurveda classical treatises called Nighantu mentions Nisa as a term for the turmeric. By mentioning the one single term, the morphological information pertaining to its therapeutic value also has been mentioned in Sanskrit sloka. Therefore, it indicates that the rich knowledge of Ayurveda, as I told, turmeric grows in the night, and it it produces lot of growth in the night, so that in the night, if or the early morning, if it is collected, optimum therapeutic value of these materials will be obtained. There is another information, because the Ayurveda provides rich knowledge since from ancient days, but present day, what is happening, that also we have to keep in mind. In ancient days, many things was not there. The nature was very clean, and all the plant materials we used to get, they were free from all heavy metals, pesticide residue, bacterial load, and other elements, other foreign materials. Now, presently, what is happening? We are using many of the pesticides. As I told in the case of turmeric, the Ayurvedic plant materials are collected in two parts. One major part is that by the plant cultivation, after harvesting, the plant materials are collected and supplied to Ayurveda industry. In these materials, there is a need to observe plant materials for the permissible limit of pesticide residue as well as heavy metal residue, heavy metal percentage. If the percentage of heavy metal is more than the permissible limit, we have to take caution. This is happening in the present day only. In ancient days, there was no pesticide residue. And another thing is that the plant materials which are collected in Ayurveda industry from the mountains, from the forest, where the cultivation is not done, the forest grown, the big trees, plant parts are taken. For example, I will tell you Arjuna, terminally Arjuna. It is growing in the mountains of Indian regions. The bark of Arjuna is a cardiotonic. You know, Himalayan drug company Avana tablet contains Arjuna. Similarly, many of the Ayurvedic dosage forms. There is one very good Ayurveda dosage form called Arjuna Kshirapaka. That is like a tea preparation, like a chai. The Arjun Kshirpak is prepared by using Arjuna with milk, and that is advised for the intake, particularly to the cardiac patients. The total description of manufacturing process has been mentioned. Now, what I want to say that Arjun, the bark of terminally Arjuna, is collected from the mountains of the uh, Vindhyan region or any forest area. That plant material doesn't contains heavy metal and pesticide residue because they are grown in fresh area where cultivation is not done, and there is no question of pesticide residue. However, there may be some chances because of surroundings and other contamination, but there is less scope of these pesticide residue and heavy metal in those plant materials, whereas the pesticide residue and heavy metal uh, percentage has to be taken care in the plant materials which are taken from the uh, cultivated areas. So, in the point related to rich traditional knowledge, I want to emphasize that we are having the rich traditional knowledge in Ayurveda with a lot of information pertaining to the materia medica. By using that knowledge, by keeping in mind present day scenario of Ayurveda raw materials as well as manufacturing of Ayurveda medicines and also manufacturing of phytopharmaceutical product. Why I am telling is that when you want to develop a phytopharmaceutical product, the product will be developed from the crude material, raw material only. Raw material is taken from the botanical identity, the plant part only. Plant part, when we say Ayurveda medicine, when we use the technology of Ayurveda pharmaceutics, that becomes Ayurveda medicine. When you use modern technology, then that becomes phytopharmaceutical product. However, both the products, when we collect from this one and same plant resources only, so when we collect from the plant resources, we have to keep in mind from where it is coming, what are the safety precautions to be taken, whatever it may be the product. It may be phytopharmaceutical product or Ayurveda product. We have to see all these perspectives into consideration for developing the product which is meant for the medicine preparation in human being or animal. So another point is that year-long proof and observations. Ayurveda classical preparations as well as single plant materials were used in Indian subcontinent and also neighboring countries. because of Ayurveda domination in those days, and they have provided lot of information and a lot of data. Most of the times we question that in Ayurveda, data is not available regarding to prove the uh, scientific reasons. But however, I would like to mention that when paper was not investigated, paper and pen was not present. In those days, the Ayurveda in Sanskrit were written over the manuscripts like palm leaves and Bhojapatra, leaves of Bhoj plant, and these palm leaves and Bhojapatra are still preserved today also, and we are having this knowledge and information about the materia medica of Ayurveda information. Some of the materia medica uh, is mentioned in these two books, Vaidya Chintamani, which were translated by me. It was written in 16th century AD in South India, southern part of India, particularly in Andhra Pradesh by the Vallabhacharya, ancient Ayurvedic physician. This provides a lot of information about the materia medica of the medicinal plants. Similarly, Basavarajiyam and Yoga Ratnakara, coming from Andhra Pradesh, was given the lot of materia medica, and also Vaishajya Ratnavali, Chakradatta from northern part of India also provides a big rich materia medica of plant materials. That gives a lot of therapeutic information and separation as well as preparation of plant materials into different recipes. Now, need of revalidation. Now, why the present day investigation and usage of technology, most modern technology is needed for Ayurveda, like phytopharmaceutical product development. Ayurveda product also is to be developed. Reason is that revalidation is needed because change of this scenario, the plant materials are taken from the polluted areas also. Therefore, there is a need to evaluate purity of the plant material so that the maximum therapeutic value can be obtained. Year-long evidence based in the palm leaves by the in the manuscripts. Based on that manuscripts, based on those Ayurveda treatises, those formulations, therefore larger scope can be produced, can be seen in Ayurveda product development by using reverse pharmacology. And also we have the seen the market capture of China and India. China has captured very well. China, the Ayurveda system was modified through Buddhist monks into Chinese language. So Chinese medicine also is nothing but a Ayurveda, and both are having many of the similarities. So therefore, when we are sitting in the land of Ayurveda, that is Indian subcontinent, and there is a need to develop these Ayurveda plant-based medicines with the latest, most modern technology. Now, the role of media, as we have seen, the media also has given lot of information to the public related to the phytopharmaceutical development as a new branch of medicines to hit market soon, and Jadi Boution se allopathica दवाएं तैयार होंगी. Like that, different articles has been published in as a news. Are phytopharmaceuticals in industry, in the market, in making? Industry means modern industry, allopathic industry. So lot of news is coming. So there is a need to involve in this matter seriously, to develop the products. However, before involving the phytopharmaceutical product, there is a much involvement of Ayurveda also is required. There is another paper, Dr. Narayana clarifies on Ayush sector's concerns to include phytopharmaceuticals according to drugs and cosmetic rules. Does amendments of Drugs and Cosmetic Act and rules says that, briefly I want to say that as time is progressing, the number one point is that to insert a definition in Rule 2 of Drugs and Cosmetics, Rule 1945, as Clause EB after AEA. Change in Rule 122E at place of bulk drug substances. The term phytopharmaceutical drug is added. So and so, like Schedule Y also we have to look into consideration. And you see the specific requirements of phytopharmaceuticals, quality assurance in the manufacture of the product, good manufacturing practices for phytopharmaceuticals is required, sanitation and hygiene is most required, qualification and validation also is required, compliance, product recalls, self inspiration, training, personnel, storage areas, equipments, reference samples, and standards documentation. All these things are required for the phytopharmaceutical product development. Finished product of phytopharmaceutical product, if you see, we have to see the test for the microbial contamination. Already I informed you. And these are the other common things like uniformity, weight of the tablet, etc. And the most of the quality parameters has to be followed. And different organizations of Ayurveda, which are related with the drug relevant information, that is Ministry of Ayush, Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy. It is the legal authority, provides the mandatory guidelines, different pharmacopoeias also. I worked sometime for this Pharmacopoeia Commission as a director also. I also worked as a director for alcoholic extract. It has been mentioned. So based on these pharmacopoeias, Ayurveda industry can produce the Ayurveda medicines and get the license for the manufacturing. Similarly, ICMR, CCRES, PLIM guidelines, and other collaboration and funding agencies also working in this aspect. Future fortune of phytopharmaceuticals. Phytopharmaceuticals can be a future coming products all over the world. Similarly, United States of America, China are taking lead in this new area, and there is a lot of boost is given for the research and development of the phytopharmaceutical products. It permits high-end technology to separate and isolate phytoconstituents. It would need safety and toxicity study, which are not mandatory in case of ASU drugs, because most of the times in Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani, we use raw material as a whole drug. Therefore, it is proven since thousands of years as a safe drug, so that there is no need of toxicity establishment again for the classical preparations of Ayurveda. And phytopharmaceutical study is a opening of a herbal and Ayurveda business in the form of phytopharmaceuticals may offer lucrative returns in comparison to manufacturing of classical or proprietary Ayurveda medicines. Some of the papers also already published. Here is a paper that is antimicrobial activity of, of phytopharmaceuticals for prevention and cure of diseases. And some of the works which have been already conducted, like gugulip extract, ginkgo biloba tablets, ginseng tablet, salmarin syrup, ginger capsules. DCGI is taking care of these products. So, the new regulation for phytopharmaceutical is in line with regulations in United States of America and China. Other countries involving scientific evaluation and data generation. This new regulation is expected to promote innovations and development of new drugs from botanicals in a scientific way. With all these informations, I would like to conclude that phytopharmaceuticals consist of several compounds with a therapeutic effect. These are sold in dry form as granules, tablets, capsules, lozenges, medicinal oils such as arnica flower oil can be used to make ointments. Most of the allopathic practitioners are practicing these reputed herbal drugs under the umbrella of phytopharmaceuticals. Finally, I would like to say that the phytopharmaceutical products as well as Ayurveda products are having a rich demand globally as well as in India too. And there is a enrichment of quality and standard parameters of Ayurveda drugs and fine phytopharmaceutical drugs, phytopharmaceutical products. However, by using most modern technology and uh, with most modern scientific information, the further development is again required for the development of both the products, Ayurveda product as phytopharmaceutical products. With this information, I am very thankful to the organizers, particularly Dr. Vishwanathan ji and Dr. Saujanya ji, who has in contact with me for many days and also making this seminar success. I also thank to the principal who has given permission to organize this webinar seminar, and also I thank all the participants of this webinar seminar, all the researchers, scholars of pharmaceutics, Ayurveda, and other scholars who are attending and visualizing this phytopharmaceutical product based webinar seminar. Thank you very much. Thanks to all. Particularly thanks to Dr. Vishwanathan ji and Saujanya ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your elaborate explanation on the topic. Now I would like to request Vishwanath sir to take our question and answer round.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Reddy Garu. So, we have been in a contact since last, I think, 10 days. So, at last, you have given a very wonderful lecture on the phytopharmaceuticals and the importance of phytopharmaceuticals in the present situation like COVID and all those things. And you have invited all the faculty members, research scholars to do the research work towards this phytopharmaceutical research. I'm very much thankful and grateful to you, sir. And my first question, my personal first question, and next I will ask the other participants their questions. My first question is: recently, 2 or 3 days back, we have seen in newspaper that Kerala has identified one Ayurvedic drug, gingival. I think you have heard, for which the clinical trials they have approved, they have taken some, they are undertaking this approvals for clinical trials. So,
Ayurvedic, pardon? Ayurvedic, which
Ayurvedic drug,
uh,
Ayurvedic drug by Kerala.
Kerala, for
Yeah,
which
that is
purpose?
gingival, gingival,
Oh,
which
okay,
is for
okay.
COVID-19.
Okay, very good.
And I think the Kerala government itself is motivating, means they are encouraging the gingival drug to go into this clinical trials, and they are also supplying the raw materials of this, whatever the raw materials they use for the COVID-19 patients as well as the other healthy patients to prevent this COVID-19. So my question is, how far these type of Ayurvedic or Ayurvedic drugs show the efficacy in a prompt way. Prompt means in a timely way, immediate effect. What I mean to say is with immediate effect. Whereas when you compare with allopathic drugs, Ayurvedic drugs shows a prolonged, means a disease will be cured in course of time. But whereas in allopathic drugs, the disease is cured in no time. So how far you can justify the Ayurvedic drugs over the allopathic drugs?
Very good. Very important question in present day scenario, particularly pertaining to the COVID-19. The thing is that Ayurveda also having a separate branch that is called Rasasastra, which develops Rasaushadhi, which are having rapid drug action. In Sanskrit, it has been mentioned that Alpamatropayogittvat, Aruchira Prasangatvat, Kshipra Marogyadayitvat, Aushadebhyo Rasadika. That means Alpamatra, that is with a lesser dose, with a low dose, Kshipra Marogyadayitvat. Kshipra means rapid drug action. Rapidly Arogyadayatvat. Very rapidly, the drug which can produce the health, Arogya, that is Arogya, that is a Rasaushadhi. Even the plant material medicines, also some of the medicines are having rapid drug action. And these drugs are mentioned that without having vipaka. Already I told that we have separate pharmacology, that is rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, and prabhava. That means without undergoing this all the components rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, with directly drug will enter into the body system and it will add the therapeutic efficacy into the system. And that is because of its drug rapid action, and that is possible even with plant materials as well as some of the herbo mineral products. They are called rasaushadhi, and these rasaushadhi, particularly samir pannagaras and also some of the basmas. Basmas means they are not only the metallic preparations, they are the modified pharmaceutically modified compound products of minerals and metals with the addition of plant materials. Plant material also, when it is burned, it releases some of the trace elements. So, this complex form of trace elements and metallic form and mineral basmas will provide in a lower dose, lesser dose, rapid drug action. And like Samir Pannagarasa, we are having the Rasaushadis, which will produce rapid drug action. And plant materials also can be used for the rapid drug action. And we have the various techniques of drug administration. For example, nasya, that is inhalation through the nose, and also inhalation through the mouth, that is a dhumapana, and also many other methods of Ayurveda Panchakarma therapy, and also internal administration of drugs as a wholesome, not by using single identity, as a wholesome by using different therapeutic procedures of Ayurveda, and also by using different Ayurveda formulations like Rasaushadi as well as plant based Ayurveda medicines. It is possible, as per my knowledge is concerned, to even to treat the COVID-19. The reason is that yesterday itself I was referring Yoga Ratnakara, one of the great treatises of Andhra Pradesh itself, mentions that the in the chapter of Visarpa treatment, that is one of the like chicken pox disease. In that disease itself, the viral contamination will takes place. In those days itself, it is told that in the Sanskrit sloka, the patient should be kept away from the normal persons, and most of the persons should not touch the patient. That is one issue related with the prevention. And most of the medicines were prescribed for the treatment of that bacterial and viral disease also. Similarly, in Ayurveda, it is mentioned that whenever particular disease is not mentioned in Shastra, based on the involvement of dosha, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These three genomics will be taken into consideration, patient to patient, based on the age, severity of the disease, and place of the occurrence, and all those conditions are mentioned to take into the consideration of the treatment in while treating the patient. So, by following all those considerations, the Ayurveda medicines has to be selectively chosen, and this medicine has to be administered to the patient. This is a whole theory I am telling. Now, for the large scale production, now your question is that research and development of Ayurveda product for large scale, which can be utilized for all over the world in a dosage form which is acceptable form, like a capsule or tablet, or which can be administered very easily. That type of dosage form has to be developed. This is the present day requirement. Another issue, major issue, is that whether these drugs are having rapid drug action or not, because now the time requirement is that corona occurs rapidly, immediately patient should have the relief, the we have to show the negativity of the coronavirus infection. In such a condition, you require the rapid drug development. So, if any government body, if they develops with their own resources of research and development, we have to welcome that. And the efficacy of those drugs will be proven by the time itself. Ayurveda drugs also are standing today since thousands of years, though intervention of lot of other systems like most dominated allopathy system and homeopathy systems are intervened into India and other parts of the world. Even then, Ayurveda is withstanding because it's proven effect with a long period of duration. So, when somebody is developing, we have to welcome that, and it will be decided by its proving for a long period. Because of course, now in a emergent manner, the COVID-19 requires medicine. The Ayurveda system has developed. Similarly, Banaras Hindu University also is trying to develop the various therapeutic procedures and medicines. Particularly, Guruji is one of the important medicine, and Ayush Ministry also is developing the medicines and giving suggestions. Now the thing is that one area is that developing with all quality control parameters, with a short period of research, the developing and supplying the medicines to the COVID-19 patients. And another thing is that immunity development for the prevention. There are many of the medicines like decoctions and also other medicines like Chyawanprash and other rasayanas are already existing, and already Ayurveda industries they are producing. These medicines can be used for maintaining the immunity of the human beings, and so that we can prevent the COVID 19 up to some extent. This is one part of prevention. And another part is that even myself, I submitted a research project of herbo mineral products. See, mineral products doesn't means heavy metals. They are having other elements also. The project which I submitted contains Mukta Sukti Basma. That is a basma prepared from pearl shell. The pearl moti which is obtained from a shell. That shell is used for the basma preparation in Ayurveda. That is called Mukta Sukti Basma. And Guduchi Sattva, that is Tinospora cardifolia aqueous extract. Like that, I have incorporated a formula containing the safest form of basmas like calcium basmas and the plant materials. And these formulations, if we try in COVID 19, there is a chances of getting results. And one issue in the clinical study we have to take into consideration is that doing the trial of these medicines uh, as a single drug is one entity, and another entity is that uh, doing the trial along with allopathy medicines. Allopathy treatment will be going on. Simultaneously, Ayurveda drugs also with maintained intervals. If we administer Ayurveda drugs also, both the allopathy and Ayurveda with proven intervals. If we do the trials, then that will be more convenient form of the clinical trials and also safest clinical trial. Therefore, Ayurveda medicine can be accepted worldwide. Recently, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Fifatrol, one of the product of Emil Pharmaceuticals, is also tried by the All India Institute of India. AIMS doctors, they are doing trials. That type of study also is most required because both Ayurveda and allopathy drugs, when we do the trial, then that trial will be most fruitable. And there is another method is that experimental study on animals. First, we will prove the Ayurveda medicines on the animals, and after that, we will go for the clinical study. So, when we comment on the rapid drug therapy and efficacy of the therapy and safety of the medicine, uh, these all these things has to be taken into consideration. After performing all these things only, after the animal study, clinical study, one can conclude anything so that it can be revealed that the medicines can be effective. But on the basis of uh, history, age old Ayurveda says that there are some of the classical medicines and also plant materials and basmas. They can be administered and studied in the treatment of COVID 19 also, because their safety has been proved since ancient days. Therefore, based on that history, one can do the trials. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yalamandu garu. Yalamandu garu.
సార్ చెప్పండి సార్.
Some panelists have raised their hands, so you can. Some participants have raised their hands. Please check.
డాక్టరేట్స్ డాక్టరేట్ ఫస్ట్ డాక్టరేట్ ఎవరు ఉన్నారు?
సార్ డాక్టర్ కర్రా శ్రీనివాస్ గారు. హలో, కరెక్ట్ శ్రీనివాస్ రెడ్డి గారు.
చెప్పండి సార్, యు ఆర్ ఆడిబుల్.
ఆడిబుల్ సార్. ఓకే సార్, యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్.
Yes, sir. Very good morning, sir.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Thank you, sir. Very nice session. Sir, my question is, what about nutraceuticals, sir, present days? Because coming world is looking forward about the nutraceuticals. And what is the work is going on by these nutraceuticals especially? And my next question is, sir, in food preparations also some are cold and hot regimens are there. So I want to know that. So somebody is saying that after taking fish, you don't need to take any curd, right? So such, sir, is it right, sir? And what is happen when you are taking a cold and hot regimen continuously?
Thank you, sir. Very important question you have raised.
Yes, sir.
Lot of information I want to put before, but I will submit information pertaining to this question in brief.
Thank you, sir.
Ayurveda mentions that aharo annam. That means anna means not only the rice, all the food items which
Yes.
we take, that is ahara. And this ahara is considered as patya kalpana in Ayurveda. Patya means during a particular disease, Ayurveda says that different food substances which are to be taken. And also apatya means different food substances which are not to be taken.
Okay.
Dietetics and non-dietetics. I will elaborate both the things because you have raised a question regarding the nutraceuticals. Later on, the dietetics like
Yes,
fish
yes.
and curd, if taken, how it is harmful, and also cold and hot substance. That is why I'm telling from basis onwards. So now the Ayurveda says that based on the rasa guna vira vipaka, the particular food substance is considered as a patya in particular body constitution, that is a vata constitution person, that is called prakriti in Ayurveda, vata prakriti, pitta prakriti, and kapha prakriti. On the basis of the constitution or the prakriti, the particular food regimens are to be prescribed. This is one issue. On the basis of the disease suffering by that particular person, there is a patya is prescribed. Particular number of dietetic substances are mentioned for every disease. Those diseases, along with medicines, this diet, if it is followed, then the disease cure will take place rapidly. And also, Ayurveda describes some of the food items not to be taken in particular disease condition. They are called apatya, non-dietetics. This is cleared. And another thing is that in Ayurveda, based on that virya, that is potency, hot and cold potency, and guna properties, particular substances should not be combined and taken together. If taken, Ayurveda says that it becomes a poison in our body and produces different disease condition. Hence, they are called as viruddha ahara. The thing is that this is a separate chapter in Ayurveda, very widely explained. As I told that materia medica, the food science, dietetics is very elaborative in Ayurveda. In modern system, we see the only vitamins, carbohydrates, protein, fats, etc. fractions in a food substance, nutraceuticals, but Ayurveda says that the properties of the food items. Now you see the fish and the curd, these are having opposite properties. When they combine together, not only curd, all the milk products and fish, if it is taken together, it is harmful, and also they have mentioned that specific adverse reaction, that is a leukoderma, particularly white coloration appearing over the lips will get started when the person consumes fish and milk product together. When you see the patient of leukoderma and ask the history, then you will find that one day or another day he says that I have taken fish along with curd. Similarly, there are many other Viruddha Ahara mentioned in Ayurveda. The madhu, shahad, honey, if it is taken in a very hot condition by boiling honey, if it is taken, then that is also harmful and it will not produce desired effect as honey is to be produced as per Ayurveda. Most of the times, to reduce the body weight, we mix the lemon juice and honey in water and we take. But water should be mixed in cold water only, not the hot water, you see. Because once if you mix the hot water, that will spoil the sensitive components of the honey. It is very clear, na? The honey is collected from the pollens of the flower, which are very sensitive in nature, and by that honey bee is making the honey, and that is preserved in honeycomb, and it is taken away as a honey, and we are using with many Ayurveda medicines as a anupana, that is a vehicle. Honey is used as a vehicle for increasing rapid absorption of Ayurveda medicines.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the other issue you have raised is that nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals based on the carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, and other trace elements percentage. The nutraceuticals are developed and they have marketed for improving the immunity as well as in different disease conditions for a rapid recovery of the patient, particularly like cancer, when the patient is under chemotherapy and other disease conditions, where patient is very lean and thin. For the recovery, nutraceuticals are abundant quantity. They were used. However, this is the growth of the nutraceuticals. However, the Ayurveda also gives a lot of information about the nutraceuticals. We have seen the Setavari granules. Setavari is the asparagus racemosus root. It is called Setavari because it contains 100 roots, and this root is mentioned as a good medicine substance to produce breast milk. So therefore, Setavari granules we are using as a dietetic substance for enhancing the breast milk. Now, in veterinary science, also for enhancing the milk production, Setavari products are used. Like that, Ayurveda provides a lot of information about the development of the nutraceuticals. However, Ayurveda mentions information about the uh, dietetic substance based on the guna, that is properties. Properties means lagu. Lagu means light, very easily, which is digestible. That food substance is called lagu ahara. For example, mudga, yusha. Mudga means in Telugu it is called pesaru. So mudga, if it is used for the soup or any other dietetic prescription, it is considered as a light food substance for body system, and many disease conditions it is used. You know, the idli was first described in Ayurveda. Idli was mentioned in Ayurveda. That is also the treatise which is generated from the Andhra Pradesh, that is Yoga Ratnakara and Basavarajiya, by the name of Mashendari. Masha means in Sanskrit, Udadiki dal, that is minimulu in Telugu. Mashendari. Indari means the shape, circular. So by using Masha, when you make a circular form of food substance, which is heated by steam, that is called Mashendari. That idli, during the course of time, Indri became idli, and this idli became a routine dietetic substance which is produced by Ayurveda classics. And now all over the world, the people are using. So this is also a one type of nutraceutical development in ancient days. Similarly, in modern era, we are developing nutraceuticals based on the percentage of vitamins, carbohydrates, proteins, and trace elements. So that by using different millets which are mentioned in Ayurveda, and different nutraceuticals also can be developed. Whatever it may be the terminology, whether the Sanskrit terminology or the modern terminology. The purpose of Ayurveda is that treating the person and making the person in a healthy condition. That is the main purpose of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda says very clearly that Dharmartha Kama Mokshana Arogyam Moolamuttamam. There are four Chaturvida Purushartha: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha.
Yes.
These four Chaturveda Purushartha, by using nutraceutical dietetics or by using medicines, recipes, you can use them for maintaining the arogya or the health. Ultimate aim is that acquiring the health. Whatever it may be, the science of the terminology is used.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for elaborate clarification. And thanks, sir. Nice to hear, to listen your lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
యలమందేశ్వర గారు హలో
Sir,
యలమందేశ్వర గారు
Vishwanath sir.
ఐ థింక్ సార్ షుడ్ లీవ్ అండి. యూ ఆస్క్ హిమ్. మీరు ఒకసారి అడగండి, సారు మీటింగ్ ఉందన్నారు, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ హిమ్.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Sir.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, madam.
Shall we close the session, sir? Shall we move on to the closing remarks?
Okay, sir. Okay, madam. Lastly, I would like to thank Sir Ramchandra Reddy garu for accepting our invitation, sir. And we are very good positive feedback was given by all the participants, and they enjoyed your lecture. So we would like to thank on behalf of Vignan Pharmacy College for sparing your valuable time and spending with us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We will be in touch with you in the future. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks to all organizers and also participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So shall I move on to vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I feel it a privilege to extend vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I thank Lord God Almighty for strengthening us in organizing this webinar. And I express my profound gratitude to our chairman, vice chairman, and principal for their support and encouragement in organizing this webinar. And I also express my gratitude to today's speaker, Mr. K. Ramachandra Reddy garu, for his exemplary explanation of the topic. And I thank all the attendees who have participated overwhelmingly and making the event a grand success. And my special thanks to all the faculty and students of Vignan Pharmacy College. Thank you all once again. Hello, sir.
Okay.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Shall we end
You can leave, sir.
Okay, okay.